It's a corpse, partially buried in the ice and snow.
They can tell it's a male body. It's lying face down, arms spread out.
All around the world, frozen corpses are starting to poke through the snow and return to be amongst the living.
What anthropologists found were remarkably preserved corpses, albeit incredibly disturbing ones.
You won't believe the stuff that's popping up because the ice caps are melting super fast. Seriously, it's like opening a time capsule from way back when, and the things they're finding? Mind-blowing. Get ready to have your mind blown by the wildest, spine-chilling discoveries hidden in the ice. Stick around for the scoop. It was an insect. Crash in polar ice. You might not think ice cracking is a big deal for a submarine, but it's actually quite the opposite. During an ice exercise in the frozen Arctic Ocean, the US Navy's nuclear submarines, USS Hartford and USS Connecticut, were practicing surfacing through the ice. However, one of the subs struggled to break through as expected, leading to the need for the ice to be manually broken apart. Typically, these subs are designed to break through ice that's 2-3 feet thick, gather data, and then slip back underwater. Preserved mammoth carcass. Given all the incredible discoveries popping up, it wouldn't be surprising to stumble upon a T-Rex next. A top British paleobiologist, after carefully examining and dissecting a 40,000-year-old woolly mammoth, found that this particular mammoth was quite petite compared to the usual mammoth size. Yet, it's one of the most well-preserved specimens of its kind, revealing that not all mammoths were towering giants. She also noted that this mammoth was even smaller than an Asian elephant. Daring Iowa Lake Rescue. This might sound like something straight out of a superhero movie, but actually, a teenager from Iowa was the hero of the day. In February 2023, Thomas Lee and his dog Cooper had a nasty accident, ending up in an icy lake in Iowa. It was a race against time. They were at risk of drowning or getting hypothermia before help could get to them. That's when 17-year-old Joe Salmon, along with 4 other brave souls, didn't think twice before diving into the freezing water to save them. They managed to get to the sinking SUV and pull both Thomas and Cooper to safety in just minutes after the crash. Polar Princess Mummy. The frozen depths of the permafrost are not just a treasure trove of ancient animal remains, but also hold secrets of early humans. On a mission to explore the rapidly thawing permafrost, adventurers and archaeologists stumbled upon a remarkable find in the northern reaches of Russia, close to the Arctic Circle, the ancient mummy of a so-called polar princess. Her hair and eyelashes, astonishingly well preserved for over 900 years, suggest that her burial rites played a key role in her preservation. She was laid to rest in a sarcophagus crafted from fur and copper, leading many to speculate that the copper, in addition to the icy temperatures, was crucial in keeping her remains intact for centuries. Battling fish found frozen. In another instance of animals freezing mid-conflict, the roles of predator and prey were blurred, as both met the same icy fate. A video that went viral in January 2017, captured by someone in Indiana, showcases a large fish caught in the act of preying on a smaller one, but both were frozen solid before the predator could finish its meal. Rescuers cut through the ice to retrieve a sizable pikefish that had a base lodged in its mouth. Tragically, they remained stuck in this position until they froze together and floated just beneath the ice surface. Frozen baby tiger. For years, a camera had been keeping an eye on a mother tiger, but she recently died, leaving her young cub all alone to figure out life in the wild. A bunch of wildlife experts were pretty convinced that this little guy didn't have what it takes to make it on his own, especially with the cold snapping at his paws. So, a team of animal trackers and researchers got together to go find and rescue him. After a long hike, they finally found the cub curled up in a shallow ditch, hidden by fallen leaves and surrounded by thick snow. With some clever use of trekking poles and branches, they managed to safely capture the young tiger and take him under their care. Fire and ice. Discovering fire amidst bone-chilling cold can unexpectedly be a stroke of luck. Professor Katie Walter Anthony, a specialist from the University of Alaska Fairbanks, sheds light on the impact of methane gas on climate change. She demonstrated this with a fiery spectacle on a frozen lake in Fairbanks, Alaska. She explained that methane gas seeks escape routes through water by forming bubbles, which then get trapped under the ice. When the ice breaks, these trapped gases are released and can be set ablaze upon coming into contact with a spark. Mysterious alien eggs. If you've watched your fair share of alien flicks, you'd understand why hanging out with extraterrestrials might not be the best idea. In September 2013, a bunch of YouTubers stumbled upon what they believed were alien eggs while exploring Utah Lake, capturing it all on video. They described these supposed extraterrestrial eggs as being frozen just under the ice, covering an area more than 5 feet across. As their video blew up online, many viewers chimed in, suggesting that if those really were alien eggs and there hadn't been ice, the YouTubers might have found themselves in a seriously terrifying situation. Zombies rotifers. Usually, stuff that thaws out of the ice is long gone and pretty safe to poke around, but not in this case. Scientists dug up some tiny microscopic critters known as rotifers from beneath the surface of Siberia's Alizaya River. Astonishingly, these little guys were brought back to life after spending 24,000 years frozen solid in the Arctic. Rotifers have this cool trick called cryptobiosis, which basically lets them come back from the dead, zombie style. Researchers in Russia have even managed to clone these ancient survivors in the lab to get a better look at how they tick. Woolly rhino carcass. With the land entombed in ice for thousands of years, who knows what secrets lie beneath? In Siberia, while on the hunt for mammoth remains, experts stumbled upon a prehistoric treasure, the carcass of a woolly rhino. But this find was different from others. Instead of being perfectly preserved by the icy permafrost, this rhino was already in the process of decaying when it was frozen. It took a bunch of tests for the experts to even figure out what they had found. It's believed that this ancient rhino met a grim fate, drowning somewhere between 20,000 and 50,000 years ago. Extinct horse species. Even though there are more than 400 horse species around today, this particular find is in a league of its own. Back in August 2018, researchers discovered the incredibly well-preserved remains of a foal in Siberia's permafrost. This wasn't just any foal. It was from the ancient and now extinct Lenskaya horse species, unearthed from a frozen tomb within the Badagai Depression. Estimated to be around 40,000 years old, these remains are not just a window into the types of horses that used to roam our planet, but also a snapshot that could help reconstruct what the Earth looked like tens of thousands of years ago. Anthrax outbreak. People often think of outbreaks as something you'd find in a novel until one really hits. In July 2016, Western Siberia was hit by an anthrax outbreak that made headlines after scientists found a thawed reindeer carcass. It turned out that this reindeer, which had died many years before, was the source of anthrax spores unleashed by a heat wave. This contagious disease spread among the reindeer population of the Yamal Peninsula, claiming the lives of 1,500 animals before it began to affect humans. Ancient bear in ice. Even though this bear was discovered encased in the ice caps, it wasn't the freezing temperatures that caused its demise but an injury to its spine, likely after a brutal fight that left it with fatal wounds. This bear met its end in the icy wilderness of eastern Siberia on Bolshoi Lyakhovsky Island, where it remained for 3,500 years until its discovery in February 2023. Scientists conducted a necropsy on the carcass to study the ancient animal's soft tissues. This research aims to shed light on the evolutionary changes in the bear's lineage by comparing these findings with those of today's bears. Bear emerges from hibernation. It's not only ancient relics that emerge from beneath the ground, sometimes it's the living too. In a 20-acre sanctuary just outside Golden, Canada, a ranger captured an unforgettable moment. A grizzly bear named Boo awakening from its winter slumber under a deep layer of snow. Ranger Nicole Gagnon, who had been trying for years to catch this event on camera, finally saw her efforts pay off. The footage of Boo shaking off the snow made him an internet sensation, attracting thousands of visitors to the sanctuary. With the even layer of snow as his cover, Boo could easily sneak up on any prey nearby if he chose to. Witsy Iceman revealed. freezing does a better job of preserving the dead than mummification. Ötzi provides a fascinating glimpse into the life of an ancient man who once roamed what is now Italy. He was discovered near the Austria-Italy border on an alpine glacier in 1991. Despite being over 5,300 years old, the Iceman's remains were astonishingly well preserved, allowing scientists to delve deep into his past only recently. Through extensive analysis of Ötzi's DNA, researchers found out he had brown eyes, couldn't digest lactose, and suffered from Lyme disease. The Ötzi Iceman is meticulously kept frozen at -6 degrees Celsius by the European Academy of Bolzano to preserve his condition. Frozen fox. This fox met an end in one of the harshest ways imaginable. A video captured by someone in Norway reveals a fox completely encased in a massive block of ice. The startling find was made in the early spring of late March 2022, leaving everyone in disbelief. Wildlife specialists think the fox might have wandered off course and tumbled into icy waters while crossing thin ice during a blizzard. With the severe cold, the poor fox had no hope of making it out alive. Frozen river deer rescue. What could have been an easy target turned into a rescue mission thanks to the compassion of some hunters. They stumbled upon a red deer trapped in the icy Bargazin River in eastern Siberia. Word quickly spread, prompting the Russian Ministry of Emergency Situations, veterinarians, and local volunteers to come to the deer's aid. After working for over 4 hours, cutting through the ice and using ropes, they finally managed to free the deer from its chilly prison. To warm it up, they rubbed it down and used fire, then decided to bring it back to their town to prevent it from succumbing to the cold or frostbite. After feeding it well and ensuring it was warm, the locals let the deer go back into the wild. Birds stuck in ice. Had it not been for these kind-hearted individuals, these birds might have met the same grim end as the fox. A couple in Buffalo, New York, discovered more than a dozen birds ensnared by ice during a fierce blizzard that hit the region. They sprang into action, using tools from around their home to chip away at the ice and liberate the birds one by one. In a similar act of kindness, Boston's fire department personnel rescued a swan found stranded on a frozen lake. Horses in icy water. Time and again, walking on thin ice has shown to be just as perilous as navigating through a minefield. In Bashkiria, Russia, more than a dozen horses were discovered trapped in an icy pond, hours after they had vanished from a local farmer's stable. The owner, together with fellow farmers, rallied to rescue the horses with whatever resources they could muster. Employing ropes and heavy-duty farm equipment, they managed to haul the horses out by looping the ropes around their heads and necks. After all the horses were safely extracted, they were given additional care and warmed up before being taken back to their stables. Preserved permafrost puppy. An astonishing find was made in the permafrost. A puppy, perfectly preserved with its fur, whiskers, and teeth intact, turning out to be one of the oldest canines ever found in that region. Swedish researchers, after conducting carbon dating, discovered that this puppy has been encased in ice for about 18,000 years. The exact classification of this ancient pup remains a puzzle, whether it's a dog, a wolf, or perhaps a long-extinct ancestor. Scientists are now delving deeper, using genome sequencing to unlock the secrets of its true nature. Frozen fish skating rink. Initially thought to be fake, it turned out that a Japanese theme park's skating rink used real fish in its ice. In December 2016, the park unveiled a rink featuring 5,000 deceased marine creatures from 25 different species, embedded within the ice of a 250-meter-long circuit. The rink's owners later admitted they had sourced the animals from a fish market to create an oceanic experience for visitors. At the entrance, skaters were greeted by fish arranged to spell out "hello," a sight that, once it went viral, sparked outrage among animal advocates on social media. The backlash led to the swift closure of the attraction. Largest dinosaur skull found. While archaeologists and paleontologists have traditionally dug into the earth searching for dinosaur remains, it turns out the largest discovery was waiting in the ancient ice caps. Not too long ago, researchers stumbled upon pieces of a Torosaurus skull that, when pieced together, turned out to be the biggest dinosaur skull ever discovered. This plant-eating dinosaur, estimated to be over 70 million years old, has been dubbed Dinosaur Adam by paleontologists due to its uniqueness. The skull was unearthed in the United States and reassembled in Denmark at a museum within a safari park. It's set to be revealed to the public in the near future. Preserved wolf head. In a unique turn of events, scientists discovered just the preserved head of an Ice Age wolf. Unlike other finds where more complete remains are usually found, this wolf's head, found in the frozen grounds of Yakutsk, northern Russia, was remarkably well preserved, though the rest of its body was nowhere to be found. While the search for the rest of the wolf's remains continues, the cause of its death remains a mystery. Some experts speculate that a natural event may have led to the wolf being decapitated. Carbon dating has revealed that the head is over 40,000 years old. Deer covered in ice. Given the harsh ways nature can sometimes affect animals, it increasingly falls upon us humans to step in and help. A video shared by two men in Kazakhstan captures such a moment, showing them saving a roe deer in distress. The deer was in a dire state, with its face and groin completely encased in thick, hard ice, barely able to move. These kind-hearted individuals intervened, chipping away at the ice to free the deer. Unfortunately, unlike other animals mentioned before that were rescued and received proper care, this deer might not have been as fortunate in receiving immediate aftercare. Kittens stuck in ice. The situation was already sad with the kittens left out in the cold, but what happened next could tug at anyone's heartstrings. An oil patch worker on his lunch break in central Alberta, Canada, came across 3 kittens that appeared to be abandoned. Chillingly, their tails were tangled together and frozen to the ice due to the biting cold winds. Lacking any tools to free them, the quick-thinking worker used his hot coffee to melt the ice around their tails. After a short but tense effort, he managed to free the kittens and later put them up for adoption, gaining widespread attention for his act of kindness through the shared footage. Distressed dog in freezing lake. By now, it might be a good idea to conduct regular thermal scans to identify and save animals from potentially fatal situations. In a small Montana town, locals discovered a stray dog trapped in an icy lake after hearing its distressing cries for help. The local fire department sent out a rescue team, with one member carefully sliding across the ice, fully equipped with safety gear, to retrieve the dog from the frigid waters. Initially, the dog seemed fine after being rescued, but soon there were alarming signs as it stopped breathing. Thankfully, a swift trip to the vet ensured the four-legged friend's recovery. Frozen while fighting. These two adversaries were so caught up in their conflict that they failed to notice the deadly blizzard around them, ultimately leading to their demise. A video from an undisclosed source captured a wolf and a fox, frozen mid-confrontation, as if locked in an intense battle. It seems they were too engrossed in their quarrel to realize the severity of the cold, losing the ability to move as the freezing temperatures overcame them, tragically ending their struggle. Statue of a dog. This particular case with the adorable pup named Bunny isn't about being immobilized by ice, but due to paralysis. Bunny is battling a condition known as tetanus or lockjaw, which has rendered her body as rigid as a rock, leaving her almost entirely paralyzed. Despite receiving continuous care from a local vet over several days, Bunny only exhibited minimal improvement. However, to the astonishment of her owners, they found Bunny standing up on her own, a moment that left them stunned. Alligator's snout stuck out. This scenario doesn't just showcase a marine animal struggling, but rather highlights a clever survival tactic employed in icy waters. The team at Shallot River Swamp Park captured footage of an alligator poking its snout through the ice in a backyard, utilizing a known strategy for survival. Alligators do this to breathe and regulate their body temperature according to the chilly underwater conditions, while simultaneously hibernating. The person recording took it upon themselves to use common household tools to expand the opening in the ice, ensuring more comfort for the alligator. Stranded boar rescue. Fortunately for the boar, it encountered helpful skaters instead of hungry hunters, or it might have ended up as a meal. While ice skating on a frozen lake in Ontario, Canada, a group of residents came across a boar struggling to maintain its footing on the slick ice. The compassionate skaters decided to intervene, using their trekking stick to gently guide the boar back to the safety of the forest. In no time, the boar was able to stand on solid ground and return to its natural habitat. Frozen rabbit. This rabbit became yet another victim of the unusually severe frosts in Kazakhstan, freezing to death. A video shared in late January 2018 revealed the frozen solid remains of a rabbit that failed to escape the harsh weather conditions and was discovered encased in ice several days later. Had this rabbit been lucky enough to encounter a good Samaritan, it might have survived the ordeal. Wildlife struggle on ice. When a mysterious lake in Texas froze over, an unusual scene unfolded as a group of reptiles and a mouse were observed attempting to engage in battle despite being immobilized on the ice. A snake was trying to prey on a bullfrog, while at the same time, a mouse was launching an attack on the snake itself. Trapped on the icy, slippery surface, their efforts were in vain, leaving them all stuck in a futile struggle. Frozen fish revives. The revival of viruses from dormancy is one thing, but fish coming back to life is an entirely different and unexpected phenomenon. In a break from the usual fate of frozen animals, a fish market in Okinawa experienced a miraculous event when a fish, previously frozen solid, began to show signs of life shortly after being submerged in warm water to thaw. Researchers explain that fish like these possess a unique physiological mechanism that allows them to drastically reduce their metabolism and enter a state of dormancy, akin to hibernation observed in bears and other animals that undergo long periods of sleep. Avalanche buried deer rescue. Beyond the dangers of freezing or tumbling into icy waters, being ensnared by an avalanche poses a greater risk. In March 2014, a devastating avalanche struck the rural areas of Austria, burying numerous wild animals beneath its mass. Utilizing infrared technology, rescue teams managed to locate and save various animals, including a deer and its herd. In a separate rescue effort, a search dog was also saved after becoming trapped under a light layer of snow. Frozen pants. This scene appears more like something out of a ghost story than a display of mannequins. A video captured by someone in Minnesota in January 2016 reveals pants standing upright, as if suspended in midair by some unseen force, rather than lying flat. This peculiar sight captivated many viewers and inspired designers and retailers with a novel concept for showcasing their merchandise. Against the backdrop of such creativity, the traditional snowman suddenly seems a bit old-fashioned. Glacier ice worms. Encountering worms in glacier ice is likely the last thing one would anticipate. A video captured by researchers in August 2021 reveals worms scattered across a melting glacier in northern British Columbia, Canada. Scientists have yet to unravel the mystery surrounding these glacier ice worms, but they are on the brink of delving into the secrets of these creatures, which have been discovered to complete their entire life cycle within the ice. Goldmine of Ice Age fossils. Digging up fossils might seem kinda meh until you strike gold with something epic. Imagine treasure hunters, armed with clues and research, stumbling upon an Ice Age fossil jackpot. They found everything from mammoth tusks to bits of bison, horses, and other creatures from the chilliest days of the Pleistocene era, all in a secret spot in Alaska. This place, hidden away and full of ancient bones, apparently saw a bunch of huge avalanches over thousands of years, wiping out a lot of the animals there. There's still tons more to uncover, but the exact spot, that's staying under wraps for now. Sparta, the cave lion cub. Back in 2018, scientists found this super well-kept cave lion cub. They called it Sparta, frozen solid for over 28,000 years near the Semyu-Lyakh River in Yakutia, Russia. This little girl was only about 2 months old when she died. Crazy thing is, these cave lions hung out around humans for thousands of years before they disappeared off the face of the earth. And get this, there's this cave in France, the Chauvet Cave, that's got drawings and carvings of these cave lions on the walls, and those are over 30,000 years old. Trapped dolphins. It seems like these dolphins either forgot what time it was or simply lost their way. In late March 2023, folks from a community in Newfoundland spotted over a dozen dolphins stuck in quickly freezing waters, leaving some stranded at sea and others trapped by ice along the shore. The combination of thick ice and sharp rocks was a serious threat to their well-being, which inspired a big chunk of the community to come to their rescue. They carefully picked up each dolphin and moved them to clearer waters, using ATVs equipped with ramps. After a full day of effort, they successfully returned the stranded dolphins to the open sea. Let's talk about the thumbnail of this video. During our research for this video, we stumbled upon this image, and it appears quite genuine. Supposedly taken in Antarctica, the photo depicts a group of scientists encountering what seems to be a creature resembling a giant octopus. However, we're uncertain about its authenticity and the reasons behind its presence there. While some assert its truthfulness, we haven't found any substantial evidence to confirm it. What are your thoughts on this image? We'd love to hear from you in the comments. Antarctic ice sheet shrimp. When it comes to marine life, there's often more than meets the eye. In January 2015, a group of researchers, supported by the National Science Foundation, embarked on an expedition deep into the Antarctic ice. During their exploration, they stumbled upon a remarkable find. At a depth of 731 meters beneath the Ross Ice Shelf in Antarctica, signs of life emerged. Shrimp, fish, and various invertebrates were not only surviving but flourishing in the frigid and perpetually dark waters. This discovery sparked inquiries into how these marine creatures managed to thrive in such extreme environments, far removed from the open ocean. Thanks a lot for tuning into the video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a like and share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you won't miss any of our future fantastic videos. Thanks again for your support.